Welcome to the Carcross Desert, also known as the Carcross Dunes. This is it's considered the smallest desert in the world, even though some folks say it's not a desert because it's in too humid a climate. But this is really, really small. It's only 1 square mile in size. It's kind of interesting looking at it from Google Maps perspective because it is pretty small, and we pretty much saw the whole thing just by walking out from the road. They say it was formed by the last ice age, as old lakes would dry up, leave the sediment exposed that was on the bottom of the lake. But a neat little desert. And nearby is Carcross in the Yukon Territory. One of the things we wanted to do in Carcross was we wanted to visit the Matthew Watson General Store. It's the oldest operating store in the Yukon Territory and was a fixture in 1898 during the Yukon Gold Rush. They say it's only changed hands twice in its history. The Watson family had it, then the Tooleys bought it from them, and then it was purchased by its current owner that keeps operating it as a store. Unfortunately, it was closed while we were there, so we weren't able to go in, but I really enjoy those old stores and antiques and just really enjoy it. Carcross was originally known as Caribou Crossing. It was named after the large number of caribou that would migrate through the area. It was a town that began in about 1896 during the Klondike Gold Rush. In 1904, it was renamed to Carcross due to some mail mix-ups with nearby Caribou Regional District in British Columbia. In the 2021 census, it has a whopping population of 317. Not sure if you can see it, but there are 4 white little dots up there. Those are mountain goats. Even zoomed in 4 times on this little camera. I don't think you're going to see them, but we'll try. We sure enjoyed the difference of the landscape in this area.
I'm right in the way, huh?
The rocks just seemed a little different, and just the whole scenery was just different, almost in an odd way, but really neat. We enjoyed exploring it and walking around and checking out all these neat differences. And then we headed to the Captain William Moore Bridge. The bridge spanned 270 feet over the Moore Creek Gorge. It's kind of a unique design. They say it's the first of its kind in our hemisphere. It was named after Captain William Moore. He was a pilot, a prospector, a packer, a trader, and a riverboat captain. He was actively involved in and played an important role in the founding of Skagway. The bridge was built in 1976. Prior to that being built, the only way to Skagway was the White Pass and Yukon railroads. The cable stay bridge was designed in 1974 by engineers of the Alaskan Department of Transportation. Its main support is at a 15-degree tilt from vertical. The gorge is actually an active fault line, so the bridge was firmly attached on the south end, while the north end could undergo considerable movement in earthquakes. It's just the way the rocks were in the gorge, it needed to be built that way. But it got too small and wasn't handling the weight, so in 2019 they built a replacement. Quite a trip so far. Really enjoying this. And we finally made it to Skagway. The first building we went to is the Visitor Center. You notice the big AB on the front of it there. That's the Arctic Brotherhood Hall. The Brotherhood actually met for the first time in the hall in 1899. The facade itself dates back to the 1900s. Members collected over 8,800 pieces of driftwood from the Skagway Bay to put on the front of the building. The Brotherhood was actually active till the 1920s. The building was restored between 2004 and 2005. All 8,883 pieces of driftwood were removed. Out of that, 3,533 had to be replaced because they were rotten, but all the others are original. Skagway was extremely busy because of the multiple tourist ships that were in, but it was founded in 1897, and as of the 2020 census, it had a population of 1,240. It was incorporated as a city in the 1900s. During the 1896 gold rush, the town exploded. At one time, it was believed to be around 30,000 people living in the area. In 1898, it was believed that up to 1,000 prospectors went through the town per week. And a lot of folks, when they got there, realized how difficult the pass actually was to get over and set up shops there in town because of it. And then we were headed back to Whitehorse. It's really neat having our radios in the truck because Stan and Si were able to tell us they had seen a bear that we had drove right past and not seen, and they told us about it, so we turned around and came back. And this was one of many that we actually saw on the trip. But seeing a big old grizzly that close to the highway, just wandering around, digging up some rocks, looking for something to eat, it was really, really neat. Of course, my camera doesn't get close enough, so I had to put in a couple of shots that Sonia took with her camera. Much better view of the bear. And then the day we actually headed out of Whitehorse, we saw another bear running across the road. You can kind of see him there as he finally got off the highway. On our return to Watson Lake, we managed to make it to their visitor center. The first time we were here, we really didn't have the time. They had some really neat history about the signpost forest. It all started from U.S. soldier Carl K. Lindley. He was in Watson Lake on recovery from an injury, and one of the commanding officers of the post asked him to repair and erect directional signposts. And when he did, he added his hometown, Danville, Illinois, to it. That caught on huge, and as you can see here from the numbers, the number of signs just kept growing and growing and growing, and now there's over 100,000 signs in the signpost forest. What I thought was really neat was in September 4th through the 14th of 1992, on the 50th anniversary of him doing that, the city of Whitehorse invited him back, Watson Lake, invited him back, and his wife accompanied him, and they put up a replica sign back then. The other part of the visitor center had to do with the actual construction of the Alaskan Highway. The amount of artifacts was really neat. I really enjoyed the amount of original photographs and stories from the different soldiers that were present during the construction. It was really eye-opening and fascinating to see the original equipment they had to use to build it, the techniques they had to use, and the hardships they had to face in such a wild wilderness, trying to do something that had never been done before. It was a really neat visitor center. We really enjoyed it. Here we are at Liard Hot Springs.
How long do you think we've been here?
Not very long. They're in 41, we're in 40. This is a primitive camping area. It's picnic tables, fire pits.
Warnings not to leave anything out for bears.
Warnings not to leave anything out for bears. We have an electric fence around the entire campground. A little different, not too normal. But hey, you know, getting out and trying something different. Guessing that it's just probably an electric fence, just a really powerful one.
Yeah. That looks like really thick wire.
Well, you know, it's there to keep out buffalo. Visitor center. That's cute.
That's funny. So
About the size of your tidewood?
No, I think tidewood's a little bit longer actually. You are in bear country. Oh.
He had me. How about you?
Yeah, I actually heard some weird noise.
All I can think of is National Treasure when he reaches into the rock.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Ah! And everybody screams. Yeah.
And he starts laughing.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
There's somebody in front of us. You know what that means? If a bear chases it, all we gotta do is outrun them.
That depends on which direction the bear comes from.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, I know one of them took some photos here. I don't know if you can be able to see them. Oh yeah, you can see them. But one of them that came out here.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Ooh, yikes. Moose and minerals. Moose frequent area. So is this water? No, it's not steaming.
Bottom of that.
Wow.
Another.
Well, it's got brand new tree popping out of an old gnarled stump.
Several of them. And there's one over there that has one coming out of it too. That's really cool. Yeah. And fungus.
No dogs or alcohol in pool area. Is this the pool area? Is that the pool area? I don't know.
I would say this is the area.
I would say you're probably right. What's that? Yes. And where are we at?
Yard Hot Springs,
Yard Hot Springs.
British Columbia.
We've never been here before, have we?
Nope, we've never been here.
Pretty cool.
It is very nuts. Really warm.
We left on August 5th from Oregon, and we've been all the way up in.
You liking this?
Yeah, it's nice. What? Yes.
I mean, it's still warm, but it's definitely not as warm as over there.
Nope, definitely.
Made it to the Yard Hot Springs. As you go downstream from the main pool, you go down and the waterway gets narrower and narrower, and then you have a lot of trees overhanging it. It's a pretty neat experience to go down there, and when you start out, the water's decently warm, but the further you get away from that main pool, the cooler it gets. In fact, at the end, as you'll see here in just a little bit, it got a little bit too cold for Sonia.
Take that. I'm an old guy who's got dancing.
You're not coming, Stanley?
Oh, that was a cold spot.
Yes. Lots more cold. Much cooler.
It keeps getting colder and colder, and we just hit a dead end.
Oh, that's cold. No, like I said, it's cold.
It was a really nice, relaxing time that we had here at the hot springs. It's a really nice, put together hot springs, nice gravel bottom to the water.
This is cool back here, though.
And just a beautiful, beautiful location. It was a little odd to me that they have such heavy-duty electric fence around the campground, but you have to leave the electric fence area and walk through open wilderness to get to the actual hot springs. But it was a really neat experience.
Oh, yeah. Right there. But I think he's stuck. I think he's stuck on your shirt. There we go. Now his wings can dry.
Now he's...
Give him a minute.
I got a picture of it. He's trying.
Okay. He's like, now I gotta dry my wings off a little bit.
You gonna go somewhere?
Okay, he's comfy now.
Look at that. Dragonfly on Keith. We're going to call him the Dragon Man now.
All right, time to go. Time to go.
Doesn't want to go.
I guess we could see if we can get him on your hat. We can try that.
Oh, no. Oh, you got to look this way. I got to get that. Look at that. Dragonfly on his hat.
Ooh, there goes a rock there. Let's see if his hair burns off.
Is it still there?
Yes.
Yeah. Huh. It's moved a little bit. It's still there. Oh, yeah, there he goes. Put the rock on. Oh.
Oh, yeah. I could feel this. Oh, it's nice and hot.
It is very hot.
Does it feel good on your shoulder?
Oh, yeah.
Feels good on my knees.
I can't go much further.
Feels like I'm in a boiling pot of water. I'm wimpy.
I get a...
Yes, I'm recording it this time.
Well, I got you doing your first one and your last one.
Enjoying it?
Yes. I'm able to move my shoulder without it hurting. That feels really nice.
So I didn't really say much before, but there's a pile of rocks there, and it's kind of a quasi-quote challenge to take a rock and stack it on the wall. And the first time I tried, I tossed it because I was about 6-8 inches away, couldn't quite get there. Second time I did it but didn't film it, and the third time I actually filmed it, so that's what you get to see on the third time.
Hasn't done it.